Good morning. Just been for my run and it's raining. Had a lovely run at the top of the hill here. It's all misty in the fog and you might be able to hear the rain on the canopy here. I'm out on our deck where we live, which is, as we say, a little slice of heaven. And there's an amazing feeling of peace here, just peace. And we've had some really hot days in Melbourne and across Australia, and I'm feeling a little tired from having restless sleeps, and so this is like soothing to the soul. Just nice soft rain. We had a beautiful session last night in our Thrive Club, our Heart Centered Living Club. Lots of lovely sharings and heart connections. There's a lot of love there, and so this is a lovely follow-on from that. And we've had in this last week or so, we've had a few personality challenges here and there, and we do this practice in our session sometimes called wishing happiness, where we send happiness to somebody, and we start off with friends and then strangers and then people we have trouble with, and it's lovely. And then we do it with ourselves too, wishing happiness for ourselves, which is probably one of the hardest. And anyway, so that's just a beautiful heart-opening experience. And as I said, we've had a few personality challenges in the last week or so with various people, not a lot of people, but a couple of things coming up. And I think that it's easy to demonize people who we have challenges with, and our ego is the part of us that we make solid. The truth is, we're all changing moment to moment. Happy, sad, scared, proud, confident, insecure, lost, empowered. Moment to moment, we're all changing. But our ego is when we solidify around a concept. I was an abandoned child, I have this condition or that condition, and we solidify ourselves. That's a fantasy. But then we get locked into that, and it gives us some kind of weird security to do that, because now we know I'm really messed up. And I know why. Rather than I'm just a constant changing scene here, which allows us to be open and fluid and flow with life, and to grow and change and adapt and to meet people where they're at. And so we create our own identity, our own ego as a solid thing, and then we do that, project that onto people that we have difficulty with too. And we go, they are mean, they're uncaring, they're a bully, they're a bitch, they're self-centered. And we talk about them and we think about them in our mind as if that's who they are, like we make an ego out of them. And yet they are just like us, constantly changing. And when we project onto somebody a quality, so you have to be careful when you're annoyed with somebody what you say to yourself about them, because you're just reinforcing that concretization and creating separation, right? So we separate them as that in that corner that's separate from me. And it's really wholesome and healthy just to realize that we're all in flux, we're all in transformation, we're all in change. And in fact, these people that we see and qualities that we see in others are really projections of our own shadow side, the parts of us that we don't like. We project it onto them, and then we distance ourselves from them, trying to distance ourselves from it in ourselves. And when we realize this, we can soften our hardness in our relationship to the people that we're having trouble with, and realize that there's nothing permanent there, there's nothing solid there. There's not an ego that has a fixed quality, because other people in their life are going to see them differently. Their mum, their dad, their partner, their children, all going to see a different ego there. And when we can realize that we actually all have infinite potentialities and possibilities, then we open our heart and we have an opportunity to connect with them in that. Sorry if the camera's wobbling around a bit, talking on a little, so it's getting longer, my hand's getting tired. And I'm also trying to avoid the rain going down my back. But anyway, so just a really powerful thing to stop and think about. The people that you're having difficulty with, have a look and see, are you contracting them into an ego identity and then separating yourself from them and pushing them away? And if you didn't, if you saw them as a projection of yourself, first of all, and a changing one at that, you could open your heart and you could have a meeting with them, a conversation with them from a place of love, from a place of compassion, from a place of inquiry and curiosity, a place where we can really meet. So that's my thought for the day, is I think when we realize that our ego is a construct that we create for ourselves, and we create other people in those boxes, then we can let that go and we can open up to the infinite possibilities that we can all become, and we open the door to compassion and to connection and to love in that space. So that's my tip for the day. And what's coming up in our community, the next big event is on the 21st of March, Thursday night at 7 p.m. We've got an open house group core clearing session, and that's also an introduction to our core clearing breathwork coach training. If you're interested in bringing breathwork and helping people to open their hearts and connect in love and to heal pain and suffering and to create a beautiful life like I've done, then I'd love to support you in that. And you can, I'll put a link to the prospectus and a link to the webinar as well in the chat below. So let me know in the comments what your response to this is. I'd love to hear. Have a great day. And from peaceful Hazeldale in the Dandenong Ranges rainforest, Nicholas signing off.